Yeah, good morning, everyone. Uh, we had seen last few days US market continuously showing positive signs. In last 3 days, US market has moved up by around 1%, and this that was driven by various positive data which were coming out of US market. In that, US job market has shown improvement, and the unemployment rate has further come down, and job addition was at around somewhere around 5.3 lakhs against expectation of 4.5. And even the figures which were poor in previous months has also got some improvement in revised figure. Apart from that, the House of Representatives has also approved uh, the infrastructure package, which is of around $1 trillion, and that will now be put up for president approval, and it is now more or less through, as president himself has proposed this project. So this is again a big investment proposal which has been running for many years and is been now approved. So, and before that, even the Fed came up with the tapering announcement, and which will start from November end, and $15 billion will be reduced every month. So the total quantitative easing of around $120 billion will be reduced to zero from till June, July of next year, and interest rate increase will be post that. But they had not given any indications on when the interest rate will be increasing. But the market expectation is that there will be one interest rate increase in the next year by the US Federal Reserve. Apart from that, the futures are of the US market are a bit soft, and the Asian market are also marginally negative. Whereas if we see the commodity, oil prices again moved up, and now it's at around $83.8. That is a Brent crude. This is after OPEC Plus has indicated that they will not be changing their earlier program of adding 4 lakh barrel per month additional production, whereas US and other countries were insisting for higher addition of the oil production, but the OPEC Plus has not agreed for that, and that kept the oil prices firm. Apart from that, aluminum was flat, and copper was up by around 1%. Iron ore is down by around 0.5%, and steel in China is down by around 1.5%. If we see the thermal coal, apart from China, the other that is South African thermal coal has also corrected substantially in recent past. We had seen that the China thermal coal has corrected from over $300 now to somewhere around 140, $150. Whereas South African coal, which went up as high as $220, is now at around $120. The normal usual prices before all this run up was at around $60 to $80, and then it went up to around $220. It was gradually moving up, but from August, September, it started moving up very fast, and now it is equally correcting very fast also. And now it is at a 3 month low of around $120. And this is likely to benefit various companies which are importing coal for production of the power. Specifically, cement companies are likely to benefit from this, and we are seeing that cement companies are showing positive trend because of this. But the coking coal, which is being used by the steel company, continue to remain at higher level of around $400, and it is not correcting. So that cost increase, which is there for the steel company, continue to remain over there. So now I request technical team to take up from here.
Yes, thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. This is Swati. Today, the market is likely to open on a positive note, and we might get to see some positive move during the day. On the technical background, from the last few trading sessions, we are witnessing that the Nifty it is just hovering near its 50 days moving average, which comes to at nearly 17,670 and manages to maintain a closing above the same levels. I believe as long as it sustains above that level, we believe that the pullback rally is likely to be continued towards 18,000 levels to 18,200 levels. So for the today intraday purpose, 18,000 will be the first resistance level for the Nifty. If it crosses that level, then 18,200 level can be seen. Whereas on the downside, the first support is placed at 17,870 levels. So this will be the first support level for the Nifty. If it's break that level, then downside, I believe 17,770, 17,700 levels can be seen on the lower sides. The overall view will remain a little bit cautious to positive itself, but for a short-term perspective, 17,670 will be the immediate support zone for the Nifty. If it's break that level, then the selling pressure is likely to be intensified, which might take a Nifty towards 17,400 to 17,200 levels. So as of now, the view is little bit cautious, but we can witness some pullback rally towards 18,000 to 18,200 levels. On the Bank Nifty front, Bank Nifty looks comparatively weak compared to the Nifty. As of now, it is just under the selling pressures we are witnessing on the last week. Also, we have seen that the Bank Nifty fails to maintain a good closing above the 40,000 psychological level. So now 40,000 will be the first resistance level for the Bank Nifty. If it's break that level, then we can witness some fresh buying position into the Bank Nifty, and which might take a Bank Nifty back towards 40,700 to 41,000 levels. Whereas on the lower end, the 39,400 and 39,000 will act as an immediate support zone. As long as 39,000 levels, that is a psychological support levels, Bank Nifty holds, we can believe that some pullback rally can be seen into the market. But if it breaks that level, 39,000 psychological support level, then the profit booking or the selling pressures can be seen into the market, which might take a Bank Nifty towards 38,000 levels. The support is provided by 50 days moving average. So that's why the overall view is little bit cautious, but definitely it's a stock specific market. We are witnessing a good momentum into the stock. So one can be into the long positions, but in a stock specific with the strict stop losses. Coming towards the Nifty Finance side, 19,000 will be the first resistance level. Any move above that level, we expect a positive momentum to be carried forward towards 19,200 levels. Whereas on lower side, 18,800 will be the first support zone. Below that level, 18,650, 18,600 levels can be seen onto the Nifty Finance. As I said, it's a stock specific market. Coming towards the stocks, PVR looks really good on the technical setup. It's just trading in the higher tops, higher bottom formations, well placed above all the important moving averages. I believe it has a potential to reach up to 1800 to 1840 levels. Currently, stock is trading at 1763. One can take a long position into this particular counter with a stop loss of 1740 for a target of 1800 to 1820 on the high side. Another buy call I would like to recommend for today will be the Alembic Limited. This particular counter was just trading into the pattern of lower tops, lower bottoms, and into the lower channel. Yesterday, means last week, we have seen given the stock has given a breakout of lower channel, and believe it has a potential to reach up to 115. A resistance provided by 200 DMA. So one can take a long position into Alembic. Even we have initiated a buy call into this particular counter last week. One can take a long positions at the CMP. Stop loss can be kept at 100. I believe that 115, 120 levels can be seen into the coming trading sessions. I think that's it from my end. I request derivative guys to take a call forward.
Yeah, thank you, Swati. See, on the derivative front, majorly, the data that is most important, all of that data is suggesting positive bias. Open interest is low. Just the rollovers have just happened, and after a big break, the open interest hasn't really moved up much, which is good. PCR has moved up again above the one level from the oversold zone of about 0.8, which is good. VIX, one of the major indicators in this downfall. That has come down from 18 odd levels to 15 and a half, which is very, very good. So once it falls below the 15 levels, you can expect the rally to resume. And, along with that, 18,000 levels, we are very close to breaking them on the upside again. So both together would again indicate, the rally has started again, and we can see, Nifty moving upwards toward the 18,500 levels after that. So that is one thing one should need to watch on. Once both levels are broken, one can buy with a stop loss of 17,900 odd. Highest open interest amongst calls is at 18,000 levels, and at puts is around 17,500, but 18,000 put is actually indicating that aggressive open interest has been built in at 18,000 as well. So, very near to breakout again. So this is also indicating positive bias. From the stock specific front, nothing much really has moved in the last 2-3 days. But at this point of time, looking at the overall open interest and delivery patterns, Bharti Airtel seems to be the best bet to move up going forward. So that is one stock that can be bought. Also, HPCL, BPCL have shed a lot of open interest of late, and they are likely to move up as well. So look out for these three stocks. They are likely to move up in the next few days or trading sessions. That's it from my side. I'd like to ask the fundamental team to take over, please.
Good morning. Over the weekend, there was news on IndusInd Bank. So on Friday, there was one media article which claimed that a group of senior employees of Bharat Financial Inclusion, which is the MFI arm of IndusInd Bank. So these some senior employees of that company alerted RBI and the board of IndusInd about evergreening of loans, which are running into thousands of crores. So based on this article, then the bank organized a con call on Saturday and clarified that there was a technical glitch in the month of May 2021, and 84,000 loans were disbursed without customer consent getting recorded at the time of disbursement, and this created doubts in the minds of some employees. So we feel that stock is likely to remain under pressure in the near term until some external audit is completed and the bank gets clean sheet. And further, it is also possible that RBI may take some action or separately tell them to do an external audit. So stock likely to remain under pressure. SBI result was above expectation. If we just talk about asset quality, the result was probably the best in the banking industry on all parameters: credit cost, slippage, restructured book, and even SMA book. So we feel now the only missing piece in the puzzle is the loan growth, which is still at just 6%. So apart from that, which is likely to improve gradually, we expect still bank to outperform, and we are positive. So within the PSU space, we have seen that SBI performance by far is way superior to other banks. Muthoot Finance result was marginally below expectation. Gross NPA increased from 1.2 to 1.8%. So this is actually the other way of what other banks are posting, where gross NPAs have come down, and the company has made higher provisions during the quarter. We have seen that in the past, whenever gold GNPAs increase, they have been transient in nature, and after some time, customers do come and pay up and take their gold back. So in any case, even if customers don't pay up, Muthoot can sell the gold anytime and recover the full amount of the loan. So increase in gross NPA in this case is more of a book entry, so that should not be of any concern. However, from stock performance point of view, yes, this will kind of put some pressure in the near term. And also keep in mind that gold companies like Muthoot and Manappuram, the main reason for them rallying in last decade also, if you see, is the rally in gold price. So until and unless there is a good rally in gold price, don't expect these stocks to outperform. So we are neutral in near term over here, positive in long term. Today also there will be one IPO opening, 197 Communications, that is Paytm, and it will be closing on Wednesday. We have a neutral rating. Issue size is 18,300 crores and market cap 1,39,000 crores. Price is 2150 per share. So this company basically offers payment services to two sets of clients. We already know one set, which is the consumers, we all use it, and the second client is the merchant. By merchant, I mean all shopkeepers and kirana stores. So how does Paytm earn money? On one side, on the consumer side, it does not charge us anything. However, it earns interest on the money that lies in our Paytm wallets. So that interest it gets. And on the merchant side, it charges the merchant a small percentage of transaction value for using its software, payment gateway, and POS machines. Apart from this, it also has now started offering financial services like loans, deposit accounts, even wealth management products to both these set of clients of consumer and merchants. Yeah, on the industry front, what we are seeing is that there are more than a dozen such players in the unlisted side offering similar services and having same business model. Examples: PhonePe, BharatPe, PayU, Pine Labs, and many others. So, and all these are backed by large global investors and tech companies, and all of them have set aggressive targets for consumer and merchant acquisitions. So we feel that this space is getting crowded, and Paytm would take some time to achieve profitability. It won't be very easy to get it. And also at a valuation of 50 times sales, we feel the comfort level is less over here. And that is why we have given a neutral rating to Paytm IPO. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. There are few news in the pharma sector. Sun Pharma has settled an agreement with direct purchase plaintiffs in Cree Generic Pharma. This is for the ongoing antitrust litigation which is going on. The company has made a final payment of $85 million, and this is to reclaim all the. This would release all the claims against them. The company has already made the provision of this in earlier period. So we believe this is positive, given that it would clear the overhang from the stock. Biocon has informed the exchanges that the Prime Therapeutics, that's a leading pharmacy benefit manager in US, will list Biocon Semglee as a preferred insulin on their its national formulations. This is positive. This would start from 1st January 2022. Cadila, there's a news that media has reported that central government has placed a purchase order of 1 crore doses for the company's needle-free COVID vaccine. This is the 3-dose vaccine, which the company has got the approval earlier. So this is a positive if it is true. However, there is no confirmation from the company side as yet. Lupin has launched authorized generic of Antara capsules, though the capsule has a small size of $7 million. This is marginal positive because as the authorized generic, it is likely to get higher market share. Now coming back to the results announced in the last 3-4 days, Divi's Laboratories has announced the results, and results were marginal below expectations. The main reason the company has given for the same is that because of the destocking done by the customers on the base of the last year of high base. So that is why the results have come down. However, we believe this is marginal and should not impact much from the results point of view. However, there is another development that Pfizer has announced. Global Pfizer has announced a new pill for COVID, which has shown 89% efficacy. So this is positive for Pfizer. However, could be negative for Divi's because this is the company has earlier signed up with Merck for molnupiravir pill. So this is a direct competition to that and showing better efficacy. So that is why this could be negative for Divi's and positive for Pfizer. Pfizer India announced the results and results were declining. However, the stock has corrected in past few months and this the risk reward shows positive now. And with this new uh, news coming about the Pfizer global should be positive for India company in today's trade. So when Pharma announced the results, however, the results we believe is improved because the sales grew by 27%. However, EBITDA margins show marginal decline of 100 bits YOY, but on absolute terms, it has improved. So we believe this is a good result from Suven Pharma. There is a con call at 12 o'clock today where we would get to know more details. So, Uflex announced their results and results is declining. The sales has grew by 36% YY. However, the margins have come down. Gujarat Alkali announced their results and results have improved based on the higher caustic prices. Sales also grew and even the margins have improved YOY. Bata India announced the results and results is ahead of expectations. Though the last year base was a little low, that is why the sales growth of around 67% looks quite high. However, the margins have also improved to 19% versus expectation of 16%. So this is positive. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Ambika Cotton Mills has posted its result. The company has posted improved set of numbers both on the revenue and the margin front. Other than this, Sun TV Network has posted improved set of numbers for the quarter. Share is trading at 13.5 times FY23 EPS. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. Novelis, which is the US subsidiary of Hindalco, reported a strong set of numbers. The shipment for the quarter came at 968 kiloton, which is marginally down sequentially. Adjusted EBITDA per ton came at $571 per ton versus $522 per ton sequentially. Management has indicated strong demand going forward and is confident of passing on the cost inflation. They have also maintained their EBITDA guidance of $450 to $500 per ton going forward. On the expansion update, the company has begun next phase of investment with $500 million plan. The company has also launched $375 million rolling and recycling plant in China, which would generate $100 million in annual synergy. We are positive on this. Thank you.
Yeah, apart from this, Eicher Motor announced improved set of numbers. The reason being increased realizations against expectations, and that led to higher gross margin and EBITDA margin. And the outlook also, management has given that the problem of the semiconductor is getting resolved, and there is a good demand in the market for their product. So overall outlook also seems positive for Eicher Motor. Apart from that, result on Wednesday, the Alembic Pharma is likely to announce result on Wednesday, that is 10th of November. In fact, last quarter was very bad, and compared to that, there will be marginal improvement quarter on quarter, but it will continue to remain very low as compared to the previous quarters, where the margins used to be around anywhere between 26-27%. That has come down to 19%, 18% in last quarter, and this is likely to improve marginally from that level. So result as such from their normal run rate will continue to remain weak. Then Bank of Baroda is likely to announce results, and here again the expectation is that there will be an improvement in the performance of the bank. the asset qualities are likely to show improvement, whereas the key concern is of growth. We had seen that most of the bank has shown lower growth, and the same thing can be applicable to Bank of Baroda as well. The growth will be lower, whereas asset quality will show improvement. Berger Paint, we had seen that Asian Paint and even Kansai Nerolac has shown a substantial decline in their margins, and the result came down. And similar thing is expected for Berger Paint as well. The results are expected to be declining. Birla Corp is likely to report number, and here again, what we had seen that most of the company had shown decline of EBITDA per ton quarter on quarter by around anywhere between 200 to 250. The expectation is that the EBITDA per ton for quarter on quarter for Birla Corp is also likely to decline by around a similar level of around 200 rupees. So it will be more in line with other cement companies, but with the improving scenario on they had taken price increase. Most of the cement company have taken price increase, and now the coal cost is coming down. So outlook on the cement companies are comparatively positive. Dhampur Sugar is likely to announce results, and results are likely to be more of a flattish year on year. It's a seasonally weaker quarter, and as such, the expectations are not high, and the results will be flattish year on year. We had seen some increase in the sugar prices in month of September. So the full benefit can be reflected in the coming quarter as the sugar price continue to remain at a higher level as compared to the previous level of around 32, 33. Now it is trading at somewhere around 36 rupees. And First Source is likely to announce results, and results are looking like more of a flattish number. We had seen most of the IT company had shown good growth in September quarter results, and whereas First Source are expected to announce more of a flattish set of number. So whereas Galaxy surfactant results is likely to decline, we'll see margin coming off because of the higher raw material cost. Then ITD cementation result is also expected to be more of a flattish. Jamna Auto is likely to announce results. Most of the CV, ancillary and CV company has shown good results and shown good improvement in this quarter. And similar thing is expected from Jamna Auto. It also the result is likely to show better in this quarter. Oil India is likely to report number, and we had seen that the oil prices had shown good improvement in this quarter. And from 1st October, gas prices are also likely to improve. So this quarter will get benefit from the higher oil prices for Oil India, and in the coming period, even the gas price increase will also start benefiting. So overall results are likely to be improving. Then Pidilite is again likely to report better number. The margins are coming back to their normal margin level. From last quarter, it was a bit declining margins, but now in this quarter, the margins are expected to be stable, and revenue is also likely to show good growth of around 23% year on year. Then India Cement is likely to report number, and again here the margins are likely to decline quarter on quarter like all other cement players. So results are likely to be more of an okay. Then Vinati Organic is likely to announce results, and results are likely to show improvement in this quarter on account of higher revenue growth of around 70% year on year, and margin is also likely to improve quarter on quarter. So that's all from us. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.